Hello and thank you for joining us here on the Flex Line, a disc golf podcast that's not really about disc golf. I'm your host, Chris Hoopman, and in this episode we're talking to the brother of the highest rated disc golf player in New Zealand. He's a very well decorated player in his own right. He hails from the Deep South. I'm pleased to introduce my chat with Ethan Stout.
It depends what way you look at it.
Yeah, from when you walk in.
Yeah, right.
That's what I would consider the right, but anyway.
Not wrong.
Get your mic nice and cozy. Microphone.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sweet.
right up there. Don't be shy.
That'll
There,
do.
that looks good. Well, welcome.
Sweet. Thanks for having me.
No worries. I should start. How are you going? How have you been so far today? How are you feeling?
Today's not a good day.
Today's not a good day?
Today was not a good day. Bad flight out of Invercargill to get here. Yeah. Didn't keep my breakfast down, which wasn't fun.
What was breakfast?
A smoothie.
A smoothie? Homemade or still?
Homemade.
What kind of smoothie?
Oh, some berries, bananas,
Yeah.
bar protein powder, and some milk.
That sounds pretty good. What went wrong?
Bad flight out.
Okay, didn't sit right in the stomach?
It just did not sit right.
Okay.
I was struggling from the get-go.
Yeah.
It was a very long flight. But no, the practice round...
Because you're obviously up here for GCO.
Yeah, practice round today was good.
Mm-hmm.
Bit windy at times, but, you can't control that. So, I think I made some good changes and looking forward to tomorrow, which is first round.
Nice.
So, what about yourself?
I wish I could say I'm doing good. I'm feeling pretty run down at the moment, honestly. It's been a big week. I had a huge day yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Big day at work, and then I had to photograph an event that went from 7 o'clock till got home at about 9.
Ooh.
And then I had to edit because I needed the photos today. And then I sent them out first thing, and then I got an email back at 3 o'clock in the afternoon saying that they'd just checked them and sent them off for approval.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way that they're going to get approved by the long weekend, so I probably could have just sent them later.
Oh, well.
So, yeah, feeling a little bit run down.
Hindsight, eh?
Yeah, that's the kind of thing you have to do. You
100%.
can't be slack about it. But,
Yeah.
just feeling a little bit under the weather, and hopefully I don't fall asleep on camera. I shouldn't do, but,
Yeah, you turn those lights off and I might too. So it's all right.
yeah, jeez. Well, you've got an early tea time.
Yeah.
That's pretty unusual.
Crack of dawn.
You're kind of like
No,
the
not
feature card, I guess.
I haven't officially been told, but I assume I'm being filmed.
Okay,
There's disproportionate gaps, I believe, between my card and the next MPO card. I think it's 15 and then everyone else is 10.
Okay.
Which would make me assume...
so you haven't been told anything? There's been no communication
haven't been told
from
anything.
anyone?
No, but,
That's surprising.
I'm just expecting to turn up, be filmed.
Yeah, okay. I haven't heard anything.
Nah. You would think they'd use the opportunity for a bit more media just to
Publicity?
promote it. Publicity. But, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who I play with. On the first tee, you want to throw a good shot and you want to have a good round. So
how many is this if your first time being on a feature card first round and start teeing first? Because I don't. Yeah, that's very unusual, and I don't quite know why they've done it like that.
I'm not too sure either. I think it was to do last year with their 1 in 4 with the Dysmania.
Right,
having because they filmed.
Do you have something to announce?
No, I don't. They filmed. They filmed them off first,
yeah,
and to have the Dysmania boys who are vying for that sponsorship open the tournament.
Cool. Yeah.
I think so. And then I'm not sure why this year, but some flow-on effect. I know the FPL are off before us.
That's early.
That's crazy. Well, I'm up at 10 at 8:50.
Yeah,
which is probably 5 hours. 4 or 5 hours before I probably normally would be.
Yeah.
Give or take to get a bigger event like this. But I don't mind it. Hopefully the wind's down in the morning.
That's true. That is actually true. So, I've actually not really looked at anything about this tournament. It's been quite nice, obviously not needing to be across it for filming. Honestly, if we were filming this weekend, right now I'll just be dreading it. Because I'm just so dead.
Just tired.
I just couldn't handle it.
Ready for a good night's sleep.
Yeah, for sure. But we've also got a really packed weekend with Easter and stuff. It's a pretty... obviously for disc golfers, they're keen to play whenever. But I think yeah, it makes it tough if you've got other commitments over Easter and stuff. So it's a tricky,
Yeah.
it's a tricky one.
You know, like some of us, maybe not me, but some people do have lives.
Yeah.
And other other.
What do you mean you don't have a life?
Oh, I got disc golf. I got golf as well.
That's the whole point of this. We want to hear about your life outside of disc golf.
Yeah, it's not a whole. Oh,
not much going on.
There is plenty going on. Disc golf, trying to keep myself busy.
Yep.
Trying to throw and trying to properly. Not that I haven't taken disc golf seriously. Like obviously I've won a few events of whatever.
I mean, you started the year pretty good, really. Realistically, like January, you got 3 events. You were in the top 2.
Yeah.
So that's not bad.
Yeah. No, I had a good start to the year after. I'm not sure if I told you, but I broke my hand last year.
I mean, I saw it. You were throwing righty for
I was throwing
right
for a bit. I wasn't playing.
I mean, let's wind back a bit, because for some people who don't know, you've kind of gone through a lot of medical stuff over the last little while.
Yeah, I've gone through a fair bit.
So
you could say that.
Yeah, how has that been mentally, and I guess with your progression in the sport, to kind of have those setbacks kind of consistently? Because a lot of people kind of have one injury and they kind of get over it and work it into their game to manage it.
Yeah.
Sure, it might kind of flare up here and there, but like for you kind of had one major setback and then you had a broken hand, like 2 very different injuries.
Very different.
How's it been?
Oh, it's all good now. I guess I should. I don't mind talking about it. You obviously brought it up.
You're welcome to talk about it as much as you want, because
anyone can see there's a big cut from my ear to the middle of my neck. I beat it good. I did.
Yeah.
I beat somehow at 20 got thyroid cancer. Wasn't some good definitely were some bad days in there, but I don't know, it definitely helped me on the course. Like, it sounds so stupid to say, but having it was very good. I had a good obviously I would have rather probably not had it.
Yeah, of course.
You know, let's just get that out there.
Yeah.
But from the moment I knew I was just like, right, well, we're all gonna die eventually. Like, this might kill me, but just got to appreciate. Sound like the old cliche of live every day.
Yeah, like it's your last.
Like it's your last. And
yeah.
Like it's so cliche, and I hate myself for saying things like that. But just but changed my mindset. Actually, I was like, right, like I might not win, but I'm definitely not going to lose. That's kind of what my mindset was. And
I mean, you have to fight it.
Yeah,
like there's no other option. Really.
Obviously, but no, I had a pretty good. One of the better cancers to get. 2 operations, numerous hospital visits. Not wasted my life away, because it gave me life.
But yeah, it's a tough time.
Many hours spent in hospital. Like I say, 2 operations, 2 rounds of radiation, many biopsies and ultrasounds and MRIs. And
when exactly was this? Because I was looking back through your PDGA history, and there was no, like, obviously it's happened in the last couple of years, but there was no obvious, like, major gap. And I was really surprised,
because I tried to not let it stop me.
I feel like you did have a noticeable gap from events, but looking back, I'm like, when exactly could have that been?
Diagnosed October 2020, I think.
Okay.
2020. First operation November 2020.
Wow.
Which was here to here. Went good. Well, as Dad's gonna watch this and laugh. Dad says I finally passed a test.
What was the test?
Because they took out my thyroid.
Okay.
And they took out your lymph nodes as well, which
Yeah.
I don't really know too much about. Just keep nodding. So yeah, I know what those are. But took 10 of those out, and all 10 came. They tested, and all 10 came back cancerous.
Yeah, right.
So his
10 out of 10.
His dad says 100% first time.
Yeah. Ticked all the boxes.
But then around radiation later that year, but it was right before Christmas actually. Because I remember getting Mum to do my Christmas shopping because I was in hospital the week before.
Yeah. So she was Santa.
Yeah, it was a bit lazy on my behalf. But then another operation April
21.
which was bottom all the
Okay.
way up to the ear.
Wow.
Still don't have a lot of sensation in here,
Yeah.
but doesn't affect my neck twist or anything like
That's
throwing.
good.
Like,
Yeah.
and like people often ask or hear about it, and I'm more than happy to talk about it. Like, it's mainly because even when it was in front of me, I was happy to talk about it, because I got to deal with it. Like,
Yeah.
So
It's also the kind of thing that, like, I guess you almost feel like you have a responsibility to raise awareness in a sense. Like, there aren't like a heap, as you said at the start, like there aren't a heap of people going through it at your age.
No.
And so like it's a thing that is real and it exists, and it's reasonable to have kind of the desire to raise a bit of awareness.
Yeah,
and, like, you're not going to shout it from the rooftops, but like
100%.
if someone's interested, you're more than willing to have a
Share.
chat. Yeah.
And like it does. When people do ask it, is like, strangers by, my favorite is just the, you just should have seen the other guy, like, when they ask about
Yeah.
my
Oh, yeah.
like, obviously people that know that, I can't really just say that, like, but like anyone that I generally know, or
Yeah.
it's not just a complete random, happily tell.
Yeah. Do you get many people making comments? Because, like, I mean,
Yeah.
I've got
Probably weekly,
really.
once a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's surprising, honestly.
Because
Because I've got facial scars from a
Yeah.
car accident, and like I rarely get people commenting. Like, I maybe like 3 or 4 times in my life have someone said, "Oh, did like your friend shave your eyebrow off or something?" And like, I guess that's a surprising positive. Like,
yeah,
from it, I'm really shocked to hear that people mention it. Like,
I believe it looks good, but
Yeah.
maybe weekly's probably an exaggeration, but because I don't, in my general week, I don't see a lot of new people.
yeah, right.
Flatmates, workmates, go harass my parents a lot. Disc golf mates, like,
And they all know, and they're not
Yeah.
going to bring it up because
like,
why would they?
yeah, like, but when I get exposed to enough newer
social
people,
engagement.
social engagement, new disc golfers, new workmates, who are, new people that are like part of my life at some varying degree, probably.
Yeah. Might come up.
Enough. But I seriously, like, some people are like, oh, it must be so much to deal with. I was like, well, kind of was, but
I guess you're lucky that you've.
it was, and it's, but like,
It's past you now,
Yeah, it's
in a
past
way.
me now, but like, until you'd brought it up today, it wasn't at all in my head.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing, I guess.
Well, speaking of things that are in your head, you are the defending champ of GCO.
Yep.
So how are you feeling about that leading into the event, and do you feel like your current game is worthy of defending it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
you're
is.
feeling positive?
Yeah, I have not thrown the disc very well lately, but I have more confidence than I ever have putting. So just got to give myself a couple of chances. And it sounds silly, but you just got to get out of your own way. Like, and more you get into disc golf and golf, we all know that usually what you shoot's not actually how good you are per se. It's all about how much you can stay out of the way and just let yourself throw the shot in front of you, make the putt in front of you, or whatever the situation is. So I just got to go back to the roots, the roots of what I did last year, which worked for me, which was I had no expectations because it was a bigger field, better field. But had zero expectations. Wanted to play good.
Yep.
And I always say that if I play good and come last, I'll be happy. Like, we'll hurt a little bit. We'll hurt the pride. Like, let's not deny that. But
inwardly,
I play good.
Yeah.
And
you'll be satisfied.
Rather than even winning and playing mediocre. I doubt I'd win and play mediocre.
Yeah, but you never know.
But coming third or fifth or
Yeah,
whatever I might decide is acceptable or a good finish. But not playing well. Like
That's the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just letting yourself do it, because just throwing discs in the day, it's not really worth getting too wound up about.
Yeah, for sure. So you played with Maverick in final round last year, and you're going to be on lead card, feature card with him
tomorrow
again.
Yep.
Are you looking forward to catching up with him?
Yep.
Have you stayed in contact in any way, or is it going to be like fresh off last year, just bang
more or
on
less?
Yeah,
more or less. I have had one or two conversations because we went to the States last year.
Oh yeah, of course.
So
he was around.
No, but he was
you just
he was asking where we were
okay.
going to be,
Right.
And just
oh, that's cool that he was
just
showing an
talking.
interest in your trip.
Yeah. And I told him we didn't get to Colorado. But my plan, we would have gone everywhere and like stayed there a year, but obviously it's not quite feasible.
Is that because you're a big fan of America, or you just wanted to take the opportunity while you were there?
A bit of both. I'm
Yeah,
a big sports nerd.
Okay.
NBA, NFL.
Right. I'm interested about this because I know that you have an interest in that, and I have absolutely zero interest. So coming from like a place of ignorance, like I guess what got you into that, and why do you find it so interesting coming from New Zealand? Like, what is it that attracts you to that side of things from the States?
I'll preface it with it. Those aren't my biggest ones. I follow football or disc golf,
Top
pro disc golf.
Yeah.
And
then Premier
New
League?
Zealand disc golf, and then Premier League, and just football, and like more than I will NFL.
Okay.
But I still know and follow quite a lot of NFL in there.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying,
On the
this
scale.
is a lot, but there's a massive amount that are the bigger,
And so my
the bigger
sport
fish.
coming from Australia is AFL.
Oh,
So
yeah.
where does that rank on your scale? Like, not it's out the bottom. Like, it's not even
13th.
doesn't even register.
Yeah, not good.
Okay.
Yeah, not. I'm just a fan of sport. Like, I think it's a good way to get people out and active, and like the social aspects of it as well.
Do you follow are you big on like the storylines and I guess the off-field action as well, or are you mostly a fan of like sport for the competition?
I do like hearing the good stories off the field.
Okay.
You know, obviously, there's professional athletes aren't always the best examples as to how we should live our lives.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do love a good underdog story. And
what's a current example from any of your leagues that you're following? Like, who are you rooting for that might not be?
It was me last year at
front runner.
GCO.
Yeah.
Was the underdog story.
Yeah.
I haven't checked today. Actually, I've been too busy. But March Madness, college basketballs.
Okay.
National championship in America.
Yeah.
And each year ESPN have 64
I
teams.
just find that it's insane that college basketball and ESPN is in the same sentence. Like, it's unreal.
ESPN's got a promotion. There's 64 teams and it's a bracket, so 32 on each side, knockout, round of 32, round of 16, round of 8,
64
round of 4.
teams.
There's, what did I say, 6 or 7 rounds, whatever it is.
That's ridiculous.
There's 32 games to start, 16, 8, 4, 2, and then the final winner is the national college Division 1 basketball team. And ESPN put up $1 million every year if you can pick a perfect bracket.
Wow.
So I haven't actually checked my bracket today.
That's crazy.
It's nowhere like.
How close have people got?
Oh, not past the first round, pretty much.
Really? Okay.
Because it's essentially 16 coin flips.
Oh, well, I mean, there's probably a lot of people playing.
There was 25.
Is there a buy-in?
25. Nah.
Oh, really?
Well,
Wow.
there's 25. There's 25 million brackets this year, and they're all bust.
Wow.
So you got to get perfect. You got to get every game right.
That's crazy.
So the moment you miss one, your bracket's bust.
Yeah. Oh,
And-
right.
yeah.
Okay.
My bracket was bust very early
Yeah.
on. But after about 6 or 8 games, 99.5% of brackets were gone because there was like 2 big upsets. And,
Yeah.
but no,
There always is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I say, a bit of a coin flip, but I haven't checked too much today. But I love the old Leicester City in the Premier League winning in 2016. Just the underdog. I do have my favourites and my teams and stuff that I do, or players that I root for generally. But just the underdog story, or the Joe Average story of a walk-on making it.
Yeah. Oh, classic.
Like last year, PGA Club professional, I forget his name, qualified for, I think it was the US Open or the PGA, and then got about 7th or 8th. Michael Block was his name, actually.
Michael Block.
But it was
that in Emporia?
No, disc or golf.
Oh, sorry.
Pro golf.
PGA.
Yeah, PGA. Did I say P?
Yeah, I thought you did. But
I
was going to say, I don't recall seeing a Michael Block.
No. But it just proved that he was man would be very good at golf. He would wipe the floor with most people. But
just to get to that level, you need to be
average pro.
Yeah.
Could actually kick it with the elite pros. Like he was just a club pro, which is probably a couple tiers down.
Yeah.
From the tour, but just stories like that show that
anything's possible.
Average Joe can kick it on a good day, at least on a good day. Maybe not full time. Otherwise,
it's consistency that's the thing.
Otherwise, they would be there.
Yeah,
but,
totally.
A nice flash in the pan to get people excited about sport.
Yeah, for sure. So, looking at big sports and sport media, what is your opinion on like the classic after the game sport interview, like the journalist asking how was it, how did your team go, what do you think of the opposition, like do you enjoy those? Do you think they're a little bit weak in terms of substance? Do you think they're necessary, or
definitely a bit weak?
Do you have any suggestions, or what would you want to hear from an athlete coming off the course or the field?
Definitely, a lot of times for maybe not politics, but they can't maybe say exactly what they want to. Like I know in football, player got fined for calling the ref a cheat.
Right.
Fair enough. You probably shouldn't call the ref a cheat. They are in professional football, they are paid, but the ref had been done and banned from refereeing from taking bribes.
Right. Okay.
So it's like, well, what?
He wasn't lying.
He shouldn't have called him a cheat. But why is he still refing? No, I think maybe a lot of the time, particularly in rugby, at least because that's what I see. Like, I don't watch a lot of the after the game interviews, for most sports. But rugby, you might be at the pub or you're sitting down on a Saturday night and you watch whoever it is after the game. And a lot of the time, it is pretty raw, and they're just fresh off. You'd probably get a little bit of a different perspective if you let them have a shower, and
have
just,
a drink,
and
just
a drink,
relax a bit,
and a cool down and actually process, because a lot of the stuff, like I played soccer football.
Okay, what's that?
Soccer football. Like
I don't know that.
it's like what I call it football, but everyone calls it soccer.
Oh,
So
okay.
But
You're having a dig at soccer.
Yeah,
I thought it was like I thought it was a
and-
specific style of soccer where
no,
the nets are in the air and like you have to
No.
kick it
It's
backwards
just
or
everyone
something.
I played football for so many years. Everyone tried to, I just get sick of everyone going,
Right,
soccer,
yeah.
whatever. That game that we know what I'm talking about.
You can call it football. I don't care.
I know it is pretty raw, because 90-minute or rugby's 80. Often it is a long time to be in the zone or active, and you might forget certain moments, certain things that might sway your opinion on how you played or how the team played or the referee's performance even, or whatnot. But yeah, a lot of the time they are quite bland and
could just recycle them from last week almost.
Yeah, there was that show. They used to have a show on, or a segment on The Crowd Goes Wild, and it was it was called Year Mate or something, and it was just a compilation each week of the rugby, particularly the rugby players, because it's New Zealand media, but just
good.
Just the generic response to 3 or 4 questions. It was just they just cut them all together, and it was just like, well, was it really worth us asking this? We could just paste you could paste last week's.
Yeah,
but they maybe could be a bit more creative, and I think particularly on high intensity sports, time to not necessarily sit down, but 20 minutes later after the game to actually have a think about it. American sports, they come right on as well, particularly after after the when they win the finals, the NBA finals,
straight on the field,
reporters and the Super Bowl, reporters flooding it, and they don't even have rugby, or they often at least get to shake everyone's hands.
Okay. Wow.
Rugby they might get 5 or 10 minutes, but a major league sport, it seems to be just
And it's getting like that in disc golf as well.
It is.
Straight off the final tap in, just Terry Miller's up there with the microphone.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They didn't ask me for an interview, but when I was over there. But no, I'm kidding. But disc golf one's maybe a little bit different because it's not so intense. You have a general feeling for, you're out for 2 or 3 hours. You have a general feeling of how the round's going.
Do you think also whilst it might not be as psychologically intense and heated in the moment coming off the course, there still might be a hesitation to speak too openly because it's a very small and friendly sport still.
Sure.
You might be battling with someone and feeling a lot of emotion in that moment, but you might not want to fully explain it and talk too much about it because you've got to keep kind of relationships
see them
a bit.
Next weekend.
Yeah.
Particularly on the Pro Tour, maybe a little less so in New Zealand, but even then you're still it's more or less, at least in the division by islands because of our geography. But just generally the same sort of players at South Island tournaments. Same ones at the bigger tournaments. But and I definitely think we can all say we've probably said, held our tongue on things that might have worsened a relationship. But I think also disc golf's good because if I come second this weekend, I can't blame it on you for anything because it's
it's an individual sport.
It's my shortcomings. Hopefully, whatever. Even if it's not my shortcomings, I might play good.
Yeah.
But blame, responsibility is all on my shoulders.
There's always those edge cases with like OB and stuff and certain rulings that can always kind of make things a bit blurry.
And in team sports, there's all captains often want to because someone might have let in a last minute goal or been recharted, but they hardly ever do actually name drop and out them. And I think they should because it's a team. You got to get back at it next week or the next day because it's a team sport and that's just the nature of it.
Changing gears a bit. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you enjoy costume parties?
That's like 10 being good, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like best thing you could ever do.
Maybe like a 2 or a 3.
Is it not a fan of dressing up?
Not really. Like I'm happy to go out and socialise and have a good time. But I really just
not keen on a costume.
Certain topics or what's the themes? Themes are the word.
So what if it was
like
a football party?
Oh yeah, I'd be there because
there you go.
I got 17 Manchester United shirts, so I just
you could come as the whole team,
pretty much. But I'm a very low effort person.
Okay,
so
that is basically your limit. Would be putting on a jumper.
It would have been what I'm trying to say is it would have been a 1, but
depending on the theme,
the fact that sports personalities could be an option. It's a 2.
Right. So would you say you would try to shoehorn in a sports reference in any theme?
Yeah.
So
to get myself out of buying materials
or
literally a costume or making a costume. We did dress up one year. We got one at our school. They had they used to have book day. You're supposed to dress up as a book character.
Yeah.
But they just canned that because no one was really doing it, and they
just
they relabeled it. They didn't really can it. They relabeled it dress up day.
Okay,
you could
broaden the
dress up as a
theme.
Someone from media, I think, is what
that's practically just a book day.
But anyway, quite funny back then, 2018. My blonde-haired friend, he dressed up as Donald Trump. His girlfriend dressed up as Melania. A couple of my mates, a couple of shirts, and got
Secret
some
Service.
Secret Service, couple of other girls got some sombreros, and dressed up as Mexicans, and I was just a wall.
You were the wall.
I was just a wall.
Right.
What
did that costume involve? Just like a cardboard box?
Yeah, just front and back, and they just
nice.
We just
and how did that go down?
We won.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay.
But yeah,
that's a pretty.
That's the extent of my dress up history. I'm not too much of a fan of it.
Yeah.
But each to their own. I can definitely see like I say I'd happily dress up for sports, and I know for most people there is a subject that gets their gears going like sport probably does to me, so I understand it.
So your last few events have been the Tour Down Under.
Yep.
How have you how did you find those? Seeing as they're newly launched this year, I guess compared to previous events on the New Zealand tour in general, or just regular events, how did you compare them?
I definitely think they had the right ideas. I think is the way I'd probably describe it. I prefer to put it out there. I only played 2. I didn't play.
Yeah. So you played the 2 South Island ones.
Yeah.
Bottle Lake and Paradise.
Had a broken hand when Mum and Dad and brother were sorting flights to Auckland and stuff.
Right, and you weren't sure if you were going to be ready in time.
Throwing.
Yeah. Did you travel with them?
No.
Oh, okay, right.
I had work and all that jazz as well, so wasn't sure, so I didn't enter.
Mm-hmm.
Probably would have, but because I hadn't taken the week off before, I could then rearrange flights quickly and jump up and play Bottle Lake.
Okay.
So I probably would have only played 2 anyway, I think.
Sure.
But missing out nationals did suck a little bit. And then I saw the coverage of the rounds. I was like, I'm not too upset.
Yeah, right.
In the wind and
but a bit rough.
No, I think going back to the question, I think they'll definitely have some areas to improve on. But I do like the direction it's headed.
Touching on that, out of the Bottle Lake and Paradise, because those are the two that you played.
Yeah.
Did you find anything lacking in those particular events, or was it more the tour in general and other events that you heard feedback on?
I definitely heard plenty of things.
Yeah.
There's a Chinese whispers
Yep.
train of
We all heard it.
stuff, to put it politely,
Mm.
really.
Mm.
But no, there was a couple things that Bottle Lake didn't do well, but the course was great. I think it's the
You
best.
can't beat the course.
I think it's the best course in the South Island. I've had time to think about it. I thought that after my round, but it was like my practice round.
Okay.
But I was just like, well, that's just rash.
Yep.
When I play a new course, a lot of the time I like it because it's a new course.
Yeah, it's always exciting.
And it's not too. You don't get to do that too frequently in New Zealand. So I was like, but no, I think of at least the top two courses in the South Island, and I really liked it. Definitely think they could tweak some of the course design. But yeah, they got some major sponsors over on board. They got GK Pro over.
Yeah.
Got Levi famous. But no,
I think they got a lot of people famous, honestly.
Yeah, they did.
It was big.
And I think, like I said, I like the direction it's heading, and I think it's one of those things that won't be twice as good next year. It might be 3 or 4, and then it'll be 3.
Yeah, right.
It's just a snowball effect rather than maybe a linear progression. Yeah. Well, I at least hope it is.
Yeah.
And because we more eyes on New Zealand disc golf, more money, more payouts, more courses, more.
Yeah.
And
I mean, coming from a media perspective, I think they absolutely smashed it out of the park.
Yeah.
Getting eyes on New Zealand disc golf was, frankly, unbelievable, and nothing that I could ever achieve on within Flexline.
Yeah.
So it has kind of changed my perspective on how I'm going to go moving forward, because I feel like I'm a drop in the bucket compared to what GK Pro has the potential to do.
Yeah.
And from what I can tell, especially also with MDG, there seems to be a genuine interest for media groups to come here. I definitely think that it's been identified as a content source.
Yes, it has.
And people are keen to see more. You'll read the comments and people are like, disc golf in New Zealand looks incredible.
Yeah.
So definitely there's a lot of chatter about how amazing it looks. And I'm like, if they're willing to come over and film an entire tournament series and do overnight coverage, next day coverage.
Well, the GK boys, GK
it's
boys
unreal.
Were mad.
It's unreal.
We went out to dinner one night in Paradise, just down at the pub.
Yeah.
And 2 of them just had laptops there,
Yeah. I mean, there's no way I could do it while eating. That's next level.
Yeah. They were just, and it was just, and we're like, we asked them, you put laptop down, you have dinner and just
There's no way.
nothing.
There's no way.
And they're like, no, this is what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
crazy.
GK Pro side of it, well-oiled machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thoroughly impressed.
I feel like I have a well-oiled machine, and it takes me a week to do coverage. To be fair, I do have a full-time job, but they do it overnight. If I could do it overnight, I wouldn't have to worry about having a full-time job because I would have it overnight. But
they're getting commentary. They're getting commentary done, and it was just an unreal experience to be watching scores at particularly the 2 events I didn't play. Actually, Taupo didn't have GK Pro, so Nationals, but watching Nationals and then waking up and going, I
can watch it.
I can watch it.
Yeah,
and the scores are still the same.
Yeah.
I don't know who hasn't won.
Exactly.
The winner hasn't been decided yet
Yeah.
because I'm going to have to wait to watch scores this afternoon to see round 3 or 4 or whatever it was.
It's crazy.
It was just, blew my mind and was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, and to be honest, I never really watched GK Pro before they came here. I'd seen bits and pieces, but it's the kind of thing that they were always kind of the third company after Jomez and Gatekeeper. But after watching their New Zealand coverage, I'm I almost prefer it to Jomez, especially now with the kind of new format that they're doing, flashbacks to other holes, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I like it simple.
GK Pro is definitely probably almost be close to Jomez, honestly. I just like the skins because part of me gets struggles to get excited to sit down for an hour and a half and watch
Sure.
an entire round. And I think coverage is evolving on the tour this year, as we have seen. But when I know who's going to win, I'll sit there for 3 hours and watch it live though. That's a different story because it's live and the anticipation, the excitement. So generally, last year I found myself actually watching skins matches.
Yeah.
Beforehand because I don't know who's going to win.
Sure.
$1,000.
Yeah, I've kind of gone through a weird cycle with consuming disc golf media. When I was playing a lot more and excited about the sport, I would watch the Jomez like post-produced all the time. Like that's all I would watch. And then I started doing practice rounds. And then I started watching practice rounds more than I watched the coverage. Like I was just like, I just want to watch people playing disc golf and having fun. Like it was more entertaining as media to consume than it was to watch the content, like the round content.
I definitely think I'd probably 50-50 practice round skins to actual round content. I think
and then
50-50.
And then skins came out and I was like, this is like practice round, but it's actually competitive as well. So I started watching that and kind of lost interest in the practice rounds. And now I'm not as much even watching anything. I'm just going back and watching like the final round just to see who wins for like post-produced JMAs. Because like I'm not getting spoiler alerts. I'm not getting spoiled because I'm not following the tournament. Like I'm actually like, I've pretty much stopped following any Disc Golf Pro Tour apart from watching final round post-produced.
That would, if I had done that, I haven't because I searched my PDG app too often. But I would definitely probably bring back a little bit of that excitement that I have seemed to have lost. At the same time, that excitement just seems to have been transferred over to live.
Right. Yeah.
So I think their live coverage is getting better. Unfortunately, their Sundays are our Mondays, and
exactly,
our
it's really hard
to
make it compatible.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge.
Definitely, particularly in winter, lazy Saturday, lazy Sunday morning, chuck it on.
Yeah.
Watch 6 holes. Watch 12 holes. Watch the woman.
I mean, I must admit, I've never watched. Like, I might have watched like maybe a year ago. I might have watched like when they had like the free day of streaming at the start of the tournament or something.
Yeah.
I just tuned in to see like what it was like, and I don't think I found it particularly enthralling. But maybe
I don't think the commentary is that great.
Right.
But it's I don't know what I'm trying to say there. Still live disc golf.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to win.
Mm-hmm. That would be the major thing. Just like that anticipation, especially when it's tight at the top and like closing in. I've
been watch last year. I generally actually just go watch last 6 holes on the live stream after work.
Yeah,
and just because whilst whoever won, what putt did so and so miss?
Yeah,
or like you can see it on one Jomez, but it's just a bit more time efficient just to watch it, and also you miss the storylines of so and so have been 9 through 11 and in the lead temporarily. Yeah, right. They finished 7-7-7.
Yeah,
or double, triple, double, whatever. But at one point, they were. They had made their charge, and it's things like that do get me going.
Yeah,
they get you excited that someone's gonna shoot 18 under again.
Yeah,
whatever, 15, 16. I don't care. I'm not picky, but just the excitement and anticipation.
Cool. All right, America. How was that? Like, what did you get up to? What was obviously your main reason was to help out Levi at Junior Worlds, or maybe you saw it differently. You had a different reason for going, but.
I was going to avoid work.
That's a good reason for going.
The main reason was Junior Worlds. And Junior Worlds and Amateur Worlds are in the same place.
Okay.
And Masters Worlds, which Mum would have liked to play, was a month or so later and difference halfway across the country.
Yep.
Which to us is very far. Like, doesn't look far, but it's having been there, very far. Very far. So Mum ended up actually getting in and qualifying to play FA1, which she did.
Awesome.
And did quite well, I believe. She did quite well.
Yep.
Period. I believe she got about 20th of maybe 100.
That's awesome.
For a division that it's not her primary division. Don't tell the PTGA. But so she got top Kiwi girls, a couple good Kiwi girls there as well. She played with some cool people. It was a apart from a few weather delays, that one. But Levi got in, was the highest rated player going into Junior Worlds. But yeah, we flew into Chicago, had a day in Chicago, saw everything pretty much.
Yeah.
On foot.
You love seeing the world on foot. I should say, Ethan was going to walk here from Hagley Park. I live about 2 k's away, which isn't unreasonable, but it's been raining a heap tonight, and I didn't want him showing up here like a drowned rat.
Yeah.
So you're a keen walker.
I like
you're happy to explore on foot.
Yeah. We had a good day in Chicago. Went up the Sears or the Willis Tower, but went up big building, great views.
Yeah.
Of Lake Michigan. You can see Milwaukee, Wisconsin up. That's how far you can see, just
okay.
up the coastline. You can see down into Indiana.
Wow. Must be flat.
Yeah, very flat. But it was, and coming from 50,000 in Chicago, it was like,
it's huge.
You know,
yeah.
Third biggest metropolitan area in America.
Yeah.
But no, good day in Chicago, and then we headed south to St. Louis for the night.
For the night.
Yep.
How far away is that?
4 hours.
You drove?
Yeah, drove.
Wow.
So we got a rental car.
Yeah.
Drove, caught an MLB game.
Who did the driving?
Mum and Dad.
Yeah. They did all right on the other side of the road.
And I was chief navigator because
Ooh.
I bought a SIM card before we left and had unlimited data.
Okay.
Best thing I ever did for the
yeah.
trip. Cost me 100 New Zealand.
Yep. That's what we had in Japan. We didn't have a SIM card. We had like a wireless
Didn't
thing.
need to worry.
It's awesome.
Directions? I'll Google it. I don't need to worry how many megabytes of data I got. Where's so-and-so to eat?
Yep.
Google's your friend when you don't know where you're going.
So you were
where you are.
You were like the oracle. Everyone turned to you for like any information.
They eventually got some SIM cards and stuff.
Cool.
But we got ourselves down, watched the MLB game. That was sick, obviously.
Yeah.
Won in a cool stadium in St. Louis with the arch in the background, and then headed down the next day. I think it was the next day we headed down practice round on what is now Champions Landing or Emporia Country Club.
Right, okay.
For the Dynamic Discs Open. Played there. Levi played with, no way we can know, but one of the youngest pro tour cards probably ever.
Really?
Or he was 16 at the time, maybe. Played with Zach Arlinghouse, who was...
He's also young.
Young. Colruyt Allen,
yep.
Young. And Sullivan Tipton, young.
Wow. Okay.
It easily isn't actually the youngest, but it was the average age was like 17 or 6, 8,
yeah,
18,
right.
you know, like so Levi had a pretty mint first round card, and I had 2 fellas called Alden Harris and Jeremy Coling, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, nice.
Unfortunately, I didn't really play good enough to hang out with them at that end of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
But learnt lots, had it, got to watch obviously the final round in person because I was done that early. But no, played DDO. When we were in Chicago, I got in off the wait list to Des Moines.
Okay.
So we flexed and quickly made plans and eventually ended up in Des Moines. It wasn't on the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Levi caddied my first round because Des Moines was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Following Tuesday was the start of Amateur and Junior Worlds.
Okay. It's a pretty quick turnaround.
So they caddied for me on the Friday, and then they said, "We love you. Don't hop in cars with strangers."
Yeah. See ya.
Pretty much. I found
what counts as a stranger? Like not a disc golfer?
Pretty much. No, thankfully I managed to crash on a local who was brilliant.
Yeah.
So
disc golfer. Yeah,
yep.
Cool.
He was like, "Please, can I drop you at the bus on Monday morning, like after the tournament?" I was like, "Okay." He goes, "That means I don't have to go to work on time." I was like,
"Oh, right."
I was like, 100%, yeah. Like you can use me as an excuse. But I caught a bus down to Junior Worlds with Levi and Mum and Dad. The 2 of them, Dad watching caddy and had been practicing, and then caddied 5 rounds for Levi. They cancelled 1 round.
Just due to weather.
Smoke.
Oh, smoke. That's right. The wildfires.
From the wildfires in Canada.
Yeah, right.
And it got pretty bad. Levi was lucky to get his first round in. Meanwhile, a lot of the MA1 and FA1. So Levi actually got 2 rounds in on the first day. which was
Was that the
massive.
initial schedule, or did
Yes.
they? Oh, okay, right.
It was the initial schedule.
Yeah.
But MA1 and FA1 being 100 and then like 350 for the men, huge. They can't just.
Yeah.
They had to would tea time people through a course, and they're part of Peoria, or Greater Peoria area.
Mm-hmm.
AQI, Air Quality Index, got too high, and
Yep.
PDGA rule, and in a litigious society like America, I get it. They had to stop and they can play. So Levi was in a good position of having played first, but also having played 2 rounds. Mum had played a round, but Amy Whitmore, I know, was still actually on hole 6 or something.
Yeah, just had to drop and stop playing.
Stop. Yep.
Like,
Mark
totally.
it.
Yep.
Leave it. Off you go.
Yep.
And then they cancelled the next day, which me and Levi spent pretty much entirely at Walmart.
Like a theme park, just seeing.
No, Walmart. At Walmart.
No, that's what I mean. Like,
like
pretending it's a theme park.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah,
Just going down the aisles, being like, "What?
pretty much. There's exactly.
What was the craziest thing you found?"
Guns and milk. Guns and milk.
Guns and milk.
When your guns that end, milk that end.
Just the proximity was
Yeah.
the weirdest thing.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want to go buy? Walmart. What?
Anything.
Yeah. And we love Bass Pro Shop, but which is just like a hunting and fishing on steroids. We seriously, so the second day got cancelled, and Mum and Dad were like, "Oh, what are we gonna do? Let's get out. Let's try to do something." I was like, "Oh, if we're gonna get out, we're gonna go shopping because I don't want to go outside."
Okay.
Because it was actually
pretty horrible.
and you just start to get it. You go outside for short bursts, but you start to get a sore throat. And it was just a bit hazy.
Right. Yep.
Wasn't enjoyable. So me and Levi got dropped at Bass Pro Shops and probably spent 2 or 3 hours.
Who needs theme parks in America?
Did not get bored.
Yeah.
Would happily go back.
Well, you're really like Midwest. Like that was where you were. Like there wasn't much else. Which arguably, like a lot of people would probably say is the dullest part of America. And
everyone asks.
That's all you did.
I mention it and they go, "Oh, so where'd you go?" And I go, "So remember those places that you know about?
None of them."
Iowa, how much
depressing.
How much you know about Iowa? Or,
it is kind of funny. Like there's a complete inverse in terms of popular tourism locations in America and disc golf locations in America. They're totally opposite.
Pretty much. But no, we did sneak in some good courses. We snuck in Eagles Crossings.
Oh yeah.
Between Worlds and Kansas City. We also snuck in Harmony Bends.
Okay. Couple of good ones.
On top of playing Emporia, I got to play Picard Park in Des Moines, which is cool.
Yeah.
We got Levi would say that I maybe was rage quitting, but it started pouring down as we were trying to play Northwood Black on hole 12, the famous hole 12.
Sounds like a completely valid rage quit.
It started pouring.
Yeah.
I had no jacket, nothing, no umbrella, no bag cover, barely any towels. And I might have been line 7 at the bridge. If you know where the bridge is, you know that's not good. And I stormed out of there.
He's like, I'm out of here. I'm going to Walmart.
Yeah, when it never sulked, I was like, right.
That's
so
it.
I played about 11 holes in Northwood, but Levi and Mum in their practice got to see in plenty of different tees and baskets in Northwood, but got to see a variety. So we got to play some cool courses, got to be challenged. I think I shot 8 over from the back tees at Eagles Crossing and played pretty well.
Nice. So if you did go back to the States, which I'm sure you will at some stage, are you keen to check out more of like the bigger cities, the tourism spots, or would it be to go back for disc golf in whatever format that was intended to do? Like whether that's
bit of both.
Particular Pro Tour events?
Bit of both, because obviously, as I mentioned, Major League Sports.
Yeah, I was going to say, there were probably some pretty big sports fields you would want to see games at. Yeah, so
when we were in Chicago, we got done with our day and we'd done about 40,000 steps. And I was like, how far is Chicago? Not Chicago, Soldier Field, which is a stadium in Chicago that the Bears play at, the All Blacks have played at.
Right.
Mum's like, about 6 k's that way. And I was like, see ya. I'm off to go see Soldier Field.
Yeah.
Of course, there's big gates locking the thing, so I didn't actually see much of it.
He's like, let me in.
I got a photo of there's a monument, Soldier Field, fallen soldiers and whatnot. Photo out there. I can say it.
You've been there.
Been there.
Okay.
But no, definitely would go probably to a bigger city first, and hopefully at a different time of year catch NBA, because there was no NBA on in July.
Right,
It's the
okay.
off season. There's no NFL on in July. It's the off season. So MLB, there's no hockey on in July. It's summer. Yeah, hockey needs ice. So probably go at a different time of year to hopefully
Catch an event.
catch an event, catch some sport, mix the holiday, and obviously go and play or spectate, watch disc golf.
Yep.
But a combination of fly somewhere bigger. I would definitely go back to all the places I went to and play those courses again. But America is so big, the world's so big. I'm not going to go double dip my finger just yet. I mean, nothing against those places, but like there's so many other cool places around that I'd like to go to first. Like that's the best place. Let me try everything else.
Yep.
But yeah, combination. And I think I would, or this big lesson we learned is driving's boring and there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
So like we went 5 hours to St. Louis, 5 hours to Kansas City, about 5 hours up to Des Moines, 3 hours down to Peoria, about 6 or 7 hours down to Kansas City again, and then about 10 hours home to Chicago.
Looped around.
That's just between stuff and like courses. Even at Junior Worlds, Mum would be playing one side of town. I only got one car. Mum's on the other side of town. So Dad didn't really actually watch a whole lot here, unfortunately.
Was doing the
Behind the
taxi
wheel.
driving.
It was better at Kansas City wide open because we'd just go to the same course and obviously play or whatnot. But just the driving around. So we'd probably actually, if we were to do it again, we'd fly in somewhere big, enjoy being a pedestrian, getting Uber to places you want to go around, wherever it is you want to go. A more built up area though, and then just fly. Depends exactly where you're going to, but it was like 9-10 hours down from Chicago to Emporia. We probably actually would have, in hindsight, should have flown to Kansas. And
they're
then
pretty
just hopped in
cheap
car.
for those bigger trips.
And then just hired the car there.
Yeah. I mean, you would fly between Invercargill and Christchurch, so it's the same kind of thing. Like
exactly.
I mean, I guess there's that idea that you might enjoy like a bit of the travel when you're there, like being on the ground, but in reality, it's pretty dull.
The roads are completely different because they're just
dead straight. Nothing there.
Mega interstate, which I think is brilliant because it gets people. We were looking at some of the times going, it's like 300 Ks and it says we're going to be there in 2.5 hours. Like,
like what?
The math ain't mathing there.
Yeah.
And then you realize the speed limit's 70, 80 mile an hour and you get passed by trucks if you're only doing 70.
Wow.
But, there's big brick wall, like there's 3 lanes.
Yep.
You're all going the same way. Like, definitely not safe.
Single lane state
It's
highway
not safe,
1.
but it's definitely not single lane state highway 1 that New Zealand is.
Yeah.
So the lack of oncoming traffic makes it safer. But it's definitely boring. Definitely plenty of sights to see. And, we didn't really see much. We saw cornfields and, farmhouses. But New Zealand is a bit more different. You get different, you go through.
Yeah.
If I was to drive through here, I'd come, not really through Central, but, you get different landscapes and stuff.
Totally.
But unfortunately, we're in the flat Midwest, which we didn't really see.
A whole lot of not a lot.
But even then, I think, we probably spent more than 24 hours driving. It's just time.
Yeah.
For say a couple $100, just fly there and then drive.
Mm.
There's better things to do, better things to see.
Totally. Well, sorry if you're hearing the rain. It's sounding a little bit damp outside.
It is.
And you've got a potential 5K run back to where you're staying.
We'll see.
I can't believe you're even entertaining the idea.
Better run
Ethan.
fast.
That's ridiculous. I'm more than happy to give you a lift.
Yeah, I probably will take
You've
you
got
up
an
on
early
that.
start tomorrow, but just to wrap up, I guess what sort of media I'm going to preface this by saying outside of sports, like what do you enjoy watching, whether it's movies, TV, YouTube, what do you like listening to, or what do you like playing if you're a gamer? Like what do you do out of those? What are you into?
Sucker for, I don't know.
You can't say sport.
No,
It's
not
off-
sport. No. I obviously sport, but it's not. The
I will
question.
allow like FIFA.
Nah, I've
game,
never
like-
been a gamer
No?
really.
Okay.
Never really on a console. We had a Connect, but
Oh wow!
so
Yeah, right.
But are you seriously? If you asked me to point to what button X was on the controller, unless it
So
was
yeah,
labeled.
Xbox. but it was
Unless it was labeled, I couldn't tell you. I don't know what.
Because Kinect is like the
one where you move,
the
like
moving
Wii,
thing
like,
for an Xbox.
Yeah, like Wii.
Yeah.
We had a controller, didn't really play controller
Yeah, okay.
games.
Yeah.
And I just never, from a young age, I just remember getting headaches sitting down trying to watch and play at friends' PlayStation and stuff. So I've just
Not a gamer. Never clicked
been
with
into
you.
it. Nah, rather be out moving my body. But no, what I watch, sucker, you can laugh at American, like just basic cop drama, and crime shows, crime and so a lot. Yeah, love The Blacklist. Watched that too many times. But just like I say, American crime drama, action, thriller. Watch a few movies, not too many. Don't really watch like lots of chains. Not see any like Marvel or
The big
not really into
Avengers
comics.
or
None of that stuff. I definitely enjoy war fighting for some reason.
like historical drama, that kind of stuff.
Historical, like
Cool.
learning stuff.
Yeah.
Music. Listen to music at work. And actually, it alternates between. I have a few different podcasts. Obviously, there's a disc golf. There's about 3 different disc golf ones I listen to. Staggered Stance, if anyone's interested.
Literally never heard of that.
It's what it was called the Nick and Max Show.
Oh, okay, right. They've just
rebranded
it.
Well, now they've got 5 hosts and
5 hosts.
Yeah, well, like each week, not all 5 of them.
Okay, right. Rotating cast.
So, and just life, just by life,
Yeah.
But Staggered Stance, Tour Life, which is Brody and Ulrich. I listen to Foundations, Grip Locked, and the Upshot. So that's actually 4.
Okay.
And then listen to the Huberman Lab podcast often. Just interesting science stuff.
Yeah.
And I've got probably the most thing I listen to is just this one playlist I've got of country music. It's like, 500 songs.
You're a country boy.
I don't know. It's just the last couple like 6-8 months.
Big into your country music.
Yeah, I don't know. But
well, there you go. You've got some good content there to listen to when you're driving across the Midwest to your next tournament.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome, Ethan. It's been great to chat with you. Thanks for coming out.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
I wish you all the best with your round tomorrow morning.
Should be good.
Yeah. I hope your smoothie is better tomorrow. And
can't be much worse.
And I hope that you have a fantastic round and the rest of your tournament.
Sweet.
Cool.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks so much for joining us on this episode of The Flex Line. I really hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment on whatever platform you're watching or listening to this on. All the engagement really, really helps. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.